Hey, Deco here.
And Birdie here as well. I'm also joined by,
May.
and yeah, welcome to the Lonely United podcast, number two.
My bad, I completely forgot about my own idea.
I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I was frozen. I was like.
You guys don't
I
know.
was waiting for Merton to go.
We
I was
were.
like, oh shoot.
I was like waiting for your cue, and then I never came. But yeah, we were
We
literally.
did nothing that we planned for.
No. It's okay. We made it through. We were
Alright.
practicing that intro for a while, so
Yeah, for a while, for sure.
for like 20 minutes.
Not even 20, it was like 5.
5.
But don't worry.
Yeah, hope everyone tuning in is having a great day and a great afternoon. We have some great topics to talk about today, and I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Dico to start us off.
I see.
Yeah, you have the topic list, right?
I don't know if we're gonna go in order or anything.
Oh, just
but-
choose whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, sure. Well, since last time we kind of deviated from actual milk alternatives to cheese, well, we actually talked about milk alternatives this time. I was just wondering, like, considering how cheap buying like almonds and oat is, why are milk alternatives so expensive?
I just think nuts are expensive, bro.
But
No.
oats and almonds, though, I can understand like macadamia or like.
Yeah, I think even oats and almond, their nuts in general are just pretty pricey, and I think it requires a lot of nuts in order to like make milk from it, because you're essentially squeezing juice out of the nuts itself, the nut juice, right?
Well, that's after you blend it with like water.
Yeah, but I think like the proportion of like the amount of nuts you have to how much milk you actually get out of it, it's labor intensive and not very efficient.
I think the labor intensive part is only like squeezing it out of like cheesecloth. But aside from like putting in a blender and water, I'm sure like factories have like bigger, gigantic blenders and stuff, and probably like a hard cold pressing machine to squeeze out all the juice. But I don't know. I feel like it could be a lot cheaper to make at home as opposed to buying like a bottle or carton at a grocery store.
I think so too. But I think it takes some time, and I think for like a lot of things, people think that are hard to make are actually easy to make. They just don't try because it's something foreign, so people just get scared and they don't want to try it.
Hmm.
I mean, I have even made my own oat milk before, but apparently it's pretty easy, right? You said yourself, you just blend it up with water and then you strain it.
Yeah, you can add like different ingredients too if you want a little bit more depth to the
Sweetness.
flavor, like cinnamon or like cardamom.
Yeah, I think I've seen a TikTok video actually of someone making.
Oh, for sure.
It's
My
pretty cool.
dad makes soy milk, and it's not that hard. He just buys like
Yeah,
the
soy milk
soybeans
is
from the
also
supermarket, and then he puts it all into a machine with water, and you just let it run for like an hour, and then you have a big gallon of soy milk for like
right.
I don't know how much. Very cheap.
What's y'all's favorite type of nut milk?
Eh. I think you need to fix
Right
the
now,
wording on
I'm
that
just
part.
gonna say oat milk because I think almond milk is too strong as an almond flavor. A lot of the times, it kind of like if I put it in my coffee or like my tea or like milk tea, the almond influences the drink too much, in my opinion.
I agree. I feel like the almond flavor only really goes well with like certain things, like
Yeah.
maybe coffee. I can see it, but like almond milk ice cream, I do not like. It's just too much almond, and you can't really taste any other flavor.
Oh. Or pastries.
Yeah,
Like almond
yeah.
butter croissant or something. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Yeah, but there are just like certain things that almond just not work well. Like I don't love almond
Yeah.
cake either. Have you ever had like almond
It's too. I don't know how to describe it. The almond flavor is so sharp. I mean,
I've never
granted, it's
had
an almond flavor.
almond cake, unless you mean like
Almond
macarons. They're made
bread.
with almond flour, right? And I like the taste of that. I just don't like how like milk alternatives they all kind of settle. Well, with the exception of soy milk, I don't think soy milk really settles like that unless if it's not blended very well. Like when my dad makes soy milk, it does settle, but if I buy the store bought ones, I don't think it settles like that. The texture.
Yeah.
It's like I guess it's only if you like leave your drink aside for too long, you don't drink it immediately. If you drink it immediately, it's usually fine.
I mean, the ones
But
in cartons too,
uh-huh.
it always says like shake well, because it's actually
Yeah,
natural for it to
to settle.
settle and like separate.
Yeah. I heard there's no milk alternatives in most places in Japan because I was watching a YouTube video the other day. It's like a new YouTuber I've been watching a lot of videos on, World of Extra. He lives in Japan and he was talking about how basically everywhere you go, you have to just get normal milk. So that's interesting because I feel like in Asia.
There
Yeah,
is one YouTuber I watch in Japan. I forgot his name, to be honest, but he does like barista and like housework stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I do notice that he does order all of his milk alternatives. Like I think he said something about like there's a huge import of them in Japan.
So
Yeah.
I've been to Japan and 100% this is yeah, wow, crazy, right? But
I've been to Japan too.
the milk there, I remember so clearly that it tastes very different from American milk.
Oh, for sure.
And there's actually a reason for it. Do you guys know why?
Preservatives.
No. I would hope
It's
there's
cows.
not
what they
preservatives
use.
in.
Well, I know in
No.
China, the ones in the boxes have like probably have some weird preservatives because how else can you keep milk in a box for so long?
No, it's because of the pasteurization process. They pasteur the Japanese milk. They pasteurize it where they like superheat the milk for like 2 seconds before
Mm-hmm.
making it come back to normal temperature, and that's the main difference. And apparently, it makes it
It's
taste.
the biggest difference.
It's the reason why it tastes different from
Wait.
American milk.
In Japan, when you buy the milk, does it come in like refrigerated cartons or is it like China where it's like boxes that you can just store anywhere?
Um, I think in the
What's the
modern.
difference?
Yeah, I
Well, in China, like the milk you don't even have to put in the fridge.
You don't
It's just
have to
like-
put in the fridge?
I don't-
Oh, it's like literally like you put it in room temperature, you buy it and it's a big box that comes with like a bunch of it's like juice boxes with milk.
Oh, you're talking about like the Tetra Pak.
Yes.
It's like I don't know how to describe it completely, but essentially it's a shelf stable kind of milk,
Oh.
which
Yeah,
is
I
a
feel like
lot of milk alternatives, and
in Asia, like normal milk is, or in China, normal milk is like always like that. And the only time I've seen milk that you had to refrigerate was all the like elderly people in China get milk deliveries every morning. So my grandma would get like a bag of milk, and then that was what needed to be refrigerated. But everything else you buy from a supermarket, you just kind of leave it in your pantry and then just grab a bottle whenever you want, or like grab a box, I guess. It's interesting.
I miss the taste of Korean milk.
Korean milk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Google what Korean milk looks like.
like that green one. The brand is literally called Seoul Milk or something like that.
Did I
Tastes so much better.
buy
I'm
milk when I
I'm
was in
wondering if it's the
Korea?
same thing that Merton said. If it's like the pasteurization.
Mm.
Probably.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I bought milk when I was in Korea. Like,
Apparently, the
whole
coffee
semester.
one is like so good.
Coffee milk.
They make flavored milk for that brand from that brand as well.
Oh, is it the same brand as like the banana milk?
I don't think so.
The one I'm looking at right now is like coffee flavored milk. That's what it says. But it looks like the image on the carton itself looks like one of those banana milk cartons. Like little it looks like the same brand as the banana milk. But I don't know
It's
if this is the
like-
one you're talking about.
It should call. Do you see a cow on the picture?
Oh no, there's a cow on it.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like the brand of like normal milk, but it's just coffee flavored.
Yes, it's the exact same brand.
Whoa. It comes in pouches too.
Oh, that's another thing. I really like how. I don't know if it's just Asia, but in Asia, there's so many. Like, the packaging is so much more convenient, and I don't know how to describe it, but
It's just better.
yeah. And then I'm sure you guys have seen in TikTok of like people going to like 7-Eleven in Korea
Oh
or
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
There's literally like packs, like a cup of ice that you can buy, and then you
Mm.
can just buy like juice, and then you can combine it with something else as well. And those come in pouches that you can literally just easily like rip through and like pour and then make your own drink right there.
Yeah, I think next time I go, I want to try that because that's one thing I didn't try when I was there.
Mhm.
Damn.
Do you have anything?
That merchant.
Huh? Me? I thought you guys were still talking about milk alternatives in the packaging.
No, we were looking at it and then we kind of came to a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think the packaging is nicer abroad. I don't know, or maybe we're just so desensitized, or we're not. Sorry, that's not the right word. We're so used to American packaging, and we're not used to the packaging in Asia. So we think the packaging in Asia is so much more cooler. So you know how like every time we go to like a Asian grocery store, right? We would see like
Mhm.
all those packagings, like the cool, cute ones, and we're just like, oh my god, we have to buy that, even though we like have no reason to buy it.
Well, I think it's also not just the aesthetics, but some of the packaging is genuinely just smarter.
Oh yeah, for sure, I agree.
Like it's like mess free, or like you. Oh my god, the amount of times I get like a carton or like a box or like a pouch, it says tear here. I can't. It's freaking hard. I need scissors.
I think one of the biggest thing, the reason why we don't have, you know how like in Asia there's like so many different types of packagings. Here I feel like America has a very standardized supply chain, so like everything has to fit like a certain requirement so that it can ship in a more efficient way. So like there's like a whole story of why Coke and all those like soda beverages are like a certain shape, why they're shaped like a cylinder, and nothing
Why do you know that?
I actually covered. I learned this in like business class. Because
Oh, actually, that
I have a
makes sense.
supply.
There's also strategic marketing for
Yeah.
product design.
Exactly. Yeah. So it has to fit form and function.
Fair
Um,
enough. I'll give you that.
So I think that's the reason. Whether or not that's justified or not, I don't know. It's just like whether you want everything to be standardized versus like everything to be uniquely and efficiently packaged for that individual product, right? There's probably like a middle ground somewhere between the two. But milk is supposed to be good for your teeth, right?
Well, just in terms of calcium and vitamin D, but there's a lot of different other sources for that. Dairy in general is just really bad for like skin anyway, so
Really? All dairy?
yeah.
Are we not meant to consume dairy products?
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
we're not.
We're not. We're
We're-
definitely not.
Yeah. That's why there's so many lactose intolerant people. Whoever's lactose tolerant, they mutated or
Oh
mutants.
damn.
I'm a mutant.
You're a music.
He's the higher evolution.
Evolved.
He's
was-
evolving.
Who was the first person who thought about drinking milk? Like what?
I'm
what do you
sure
think
there's
the
some
thought
like
process
weird
was
dude
like?
who just started. Never mind.
Do you think the person who like drank milk like drank it directly from the cow's udder
Oh!
or from the bucket after he?
That's where I was trying to
squeezes
go
it
to, but
out?
I didn't want to say it.
And they're like, damn, this tastes good.
That's so fucked up. If someone just like put
Well,
their...
no. The thing is, if you see like human babies suck on, titties, and then for like baby cows, calves, they suck on their mommy's udders. So I'm sure some curious person was like, you know?
Oh, 6,000 years ago, people started drinking milk products.
So out of the three of us, who would be the most likely to have discovered milk?
Not me. I'm taking myself out of the equation.
Whoa. Let's how did we discover it?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter how we discover who is most likely to like. So imagine you've never seen milk before, you've never tasted it before, you've never seen it before. Who would be most likely to go up to a cow, and then look at the udders, and then try to get milk out of it?
That's kind of hard because there's such a scientific approach that people can take, which probably likely happened.
But I mean, I think I would take a scientific approach.
Me too. I wouldn't really just like suck on some random animal's udder, you know? Like, what do you take us for? Why is this even a question?
I was just wondering if, you know who I think would? I think D-Sum would.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I mean, if we were like straight up like like cavemen kind of 6,000 years ago, then maybe. But if it was like, hey, let me squirt some out into like a petri dish and then like microscopically analyze it and see, or like analyze all the nutrients behind it and see if it's actually safe for consumption, I think that would be the approach I would like to take. Granted that I am not a caveman 6,000 years ago.
Okay. Next question. Just a
Wait,
thought.
if we're not supposed to drink dairy, doesn't human, like, breast milk have lactose too?
It's different. It's like different, the components. I don't know how to word it, but they're different from like different animals' milk contents.
So for what I know, I'm not sure if I'm completely right about this. I think I'm right, but humans drink milk while they're growing, and they're not as an adult yet. So there's like nutrients in it that helps us with our development, and so we can drink. And lactose intolerant kind of develops over time. So like some people who could drink milk for when they were younger can no longer drink milk now.
Yeah, that is true.
Like me.
Same with allergies. People can like just develop them not over natural times. I don't know.
Also like me. I heard if you have allergies, you have a better immune system, though.
That is true, yes.
So I have a great immune system. Apparently.
You should knock on wood right now before you jinx yourself. You're literally the most susceptible right now to stuff.
Yeah, what the freak?
I know, but
Yeah,
I'm just stating out facts.
how is it living with roommates that have COVID right now?
I mean, it's weird, but I think we're in a different time now where everyone's kind of okay. Well, it's kind of slowly becoming like the common cold. Maybe more like the flu. I think with the vaccinations, and then personally, I don't live at home anymore, so I don't have to worry about spreading it to my parents if I were to get it. I think that helps a lot in terms of making it seem a little bit less scary. Because I feel like during quarantine, a main component as to why I didn't leave the house at all was because I was worried of catching it and passing it on to my parents. But right now I'm just chilling. I just try to avoid going to common areas too much because the recycled air. I have my window open in my room. I have my air purifier on max. I tried to get exercise in to boost my immune system. I'm eating my multivitamins. Yeah, I don't know what else to do.
I can agree with that. I share a lot of the same thoughts where I only cared, or I only care right now in terms of not trying to get my parents infected because they're more susceptible to like having a worse outcome than I am. So, aside from that factor, I don't care as much. But I guess for me personally, just because of um my workplace, I kind of need to not get sick so I can continue working. That's my
Mm.
only concern really. So I'm not gonna go out and like party and go clubbing like every single weekend or something.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, when you guys reach like an ending point at a conversation, feel free to start another topic. Um, just segue into it naturally, or not, or just segue into it.
But we want your input.
Oh, I mean, I don't have any additional inputs. So usually when I'm quiet, that just means that I don't have any additional inputs or anything.
Okay. Well, I picked the last topic, so someone else.
May you want to go for it?
I need to open the doc. You guys can just pick it.
You go, Martin, then.
Sure. So for some people who have tuned in on this podcast previously, you guys might be wondering why is it called Lonely United, and I have no idea. So but
That
I think
just goes back to me.
I
That
think
goes back
I
to
think
me.
Deco has an idea though, because technically Deco is he's the brainchild for the name. So
Well, okay, how it actually was called Lonely United for this podcast was someone just, or May just randomly said, hey, why don't we just call it Lonely United? And then our dumber ideas were like, oh, we should probably just go with that. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty good. But, or not dumber ideas were, our dumber ideas were outclassed by that, I guess.
yeah, what was the other names we were thinking of?
I don't even want to remember them. I think it was really dumb.
The dynamic tree.
I don't know, like Ko Chen Chen, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Ko Chen Square.
Oh no.
But so there is a Discord server that a lot of our friends use called Lonely United 2.0. Essentially, before that, it was actually called Small Group, where it was just me and like 4 other friends. But now it kind of branched out to like over 100 members. And then it's only 2.0 because my original Discord server that's only for myself, I literally use it for like noting down things, or like, you know how some people have their personal like notepad? I use my server for that. So hence it's called 2.0, and then it's Lonely United because I changed Small Group to Lonely United because I think a lot of my friends around that time had like were going through like COVID, or like going like splitting apart from high school and going to like different colleges. So I wanted us to have like a safe place for us to all like still being able to hang out. And a lot of us, especially the ones that went to like completely out of state and like away from like, they literally have no more friends unless they make them there. I wanted them to be able to come back to this server where all the lonely people unite and they're not lonely anymore. It's kind of like a wholesome little server I made and just grew.
I actually love the name a lot. It just makes so much sense to me.
Right?
With that story. It's great.
I was very proud of that one.
I don't think I can come up with a better one, honestly.
Thanks, man, but I think you can.
No, I don't think so. I'm literally horrible with creating like names and titles and stuff. It takes me forever to make an Instagram post because I cannot for the life of me figure out what to put for the caption.
At least you post.
Yeah, but I'm making an effort to post because I want to. But it's like, you don't want to have a big social media presence. Like a lot of people don't, honestly. I feel like that's perfectly fine, you know? I feel like out of all 3 of us, you have like the smallest what do they call it? So internet footprint?
Online footprint.
Online footprint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really by choice. It has to do with like some self-confidence and like all that other stuff, but at the same time it's like something I don't really mind. Like, I guess if I had the self-confidence I would probably post more, but it's always something I'm working on. It's not a problem, you know, if I don't post. But some people are like, oh, I have to post. Oh, but I don't have self-confidence. I don't stress over that. It's like, hey, I am who I am right now. I love myself.
Yeah, amen to that. Um, I don't know. Being on social medias, I'm not the best at it either. It's so hard to like be able to do it consistently. It takes so much energy and effort. I really, honestly, don't even think it's worth it. Unless you're doing it as a means to an end for something, right?
Yeah, and I think some people like to just post so that all their friends can like,
Know what they're up to.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the
that
one
was
thing.
that was for me at least.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one thing I say because I feel like me posting a lot sometimes, and like posting stories especially, I like can like reconnect with people because maybe sometimes I'll comment on their and sometimes they'll comment
Right,
on mine. And even though we haven't seen each other in so long and everyone's kind of like everywhere now, maybe sometimes you guys are in the same city and then you just message and then you guys meet
right.
up and then you like wow, you reconnect with people, maybe meet new people, you know. And
I
that's like
really
really
like
cool.
that. And
But
then to add on, sometimes when I did post more, like these people who I only met like once or twice, they would like comment or like reply, and then it's like, oh wow, I never thought you would ever reach out to me, kind of thing. But it was a really nice gesture. I really appreciate it. Sometimes it went further, and we actually became like better friends, and we actually hung out. Like it only takes so little to start something.
Mm.
yeah, and that's like the primary reason why I use Instagram nowadays. I don't think I really use it for anything else. But I feel like
Mm.
a lot less people use it now after they've like converted their business model to be more reels rather than
Business model.
yeah, rather than just like post a photo of what you're up to recently. And it used to be an
Right.
app just to like share with friends, but nowadays it's more centered toward influencers and marketers. So not my favorite, I'll say.
I think my page right now or my feed is all life updates or like, oh, I graduated. Oh, um, I got a house, and then the rest of it's like content,
Mm.
which I don't mind. Kind of cool to see what my acquaintances and friends are up to.
Yeah. Yeah. I have like different perspective because my Instagram right now started off as my personal Instagram that I used to probably like, post like every other month on. I didn't really post on Instagram initially.
Mm.
And then for me, I think well, I went to Seoul Fashion Week and then a lot of photographers were like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" And then when they try to find my profile, it was private. So I changed my profile to public and then I started getting tagging or being tagged in like that one post where the photographer asked for my Instagram and then like three, four other photographers tagged me when I didn't give them my Instagram, so that was kind of weird. That was like my first time making my Instagram public. And
Mm.
then ever since then, I got into content creation. Initially, it was just like photo shoots with other people, and then it slowly evolved into like curating my own concepts and then taking photos for those. And then it evolved into more so content creation during COVID because there was nowhere to go. But I still wanted to like do my makeup and just kind of cheer myself up. And I felt like there was a lot more of a reason to do my makeup when I could just make a TikTok or like upload a photo on Instagram. So slowly went from personal to my hobby to I guess right now a source of income as well.
Mm.
So for me, I think I'm gonna probably like post on Instagram for a while, like because I don't think there's any harm in doing so. Yes, there's less and less people using it, but I think I'm able to reach new people and the bigger audience because of Reels. So I'm kind of thankful that they started Reels, but I do understand that some people do miss the photos. But I do think photos are making a comeback because I think the other day I posted a photo, and usually, like now, when I post photos, the engagement has gone. I want to say pre-COVID, my average likes per photo was like maybe like 2K, and this was like when had a smaller following.
Yeah.
Um, and then it dropped a lot like during COVID to like 500, and I slowly started getting used to like the 500, and it dwindles even more sometimes depending on how much you're pushing reels. But the other day when I posted a photo, like it got to like 1K pretty quickly, so I was like, maybe Instagram is going back to photos. But I don't know. I just use Instagram. I don't think of it as like I don't overthink it because I think if I had a phase where I was really into it, I really wanted to grow. I was like really sad whenever I lost followers,
Yeah.
and it was just not good for my mental health. But now when I view it as something that I do as like a side option to make some income, to meet people online and just kind of express myself, I think my mental health has been a lot better. I don't worry too much about the numbers, but obviously I still like see them and I still consider them, but it's just a change of mindset. I think it's good.
I like that. I was gonna say as well that that's definitely a healthier approach.
Hmm.
I do wonder though, did you ever find a need or a desire to make just a smaller, just for friends kind of Instagram? Or did you think that's unnecessary?
I thought about it, but then I feel like if I ever, because I started like a food Instagram account, thinking that I would put all my food posts there because I take a lot of pictures of food.
Yeah.
And then I think for me, just managing two different accounts, having to like, even though it's really easy to sign in and sign off,
Yeah.
um, I just found myself not posting as much on my food account. And like
Mm-hmm.
when I initially started, I was really passionate about it. I grew it to like 2,000 followers, whatever. And then
Right.
I think once the initial excitement wore down, I started posting a lot less. And I didn't help that COVID happened. So I didn't eat out during COVID, so there's no content for that. So I think each time I think about creating my own personal Instagram, like for just my close friends, I think about that, and I'm like, I'm probably just gonna abandon it and then forget to log in. So I just never got to it. But they have close friends on Instagram, and I post a lot of like stories to my close friends, and I feel like that's usually a good way for me to keep in touch with my like real life friends, separate from my internet friends.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do
But
you, what
I
do you,
think,
oh,
huh?
no,
I
sorry.
think
Go ahead.
Instagram's a really good way to like keep in touch with your friends. 'Cause I think if it weren't for Instagram, I probably would not know what any of my friends were up to.
I agree. I would be living under a rock without Instagram or like
Yeah.
social media.
What do you guys think
What were you
the
saying?
next? What do you think the next big thing is gonna be? Like, TikTok was obviously the biggest thing after Instagram. Do you guys know any newer apps that you feel like could be on the horizon, taking place over TikTok?
I don't know if it's ever gonna take it over, but something that's growing is probably Be Real. I don't know how far it'll go because just from my personal experience, I'm always like on and off because it's like it's work. You post every single day, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
But it is kind of worth it just to see what your friends are up to every day. But like for me, I don't really care about that, so I don't find myself using it that
You
much.
don't care what they're up to.
Yeah, well, if they're doing it every day, you know, I like the frequent
You're
updates. I care more
Like I
about
don't care.
everyday
No.
updates. I care more about like friends I talk to like every day. But like I
Yeah.
talk to them anyway. I'm gonna know. I don't
Yeah,
need Be
that's
Real.
true.
No, I can't do it every day. It's too much.
I
I
can't.
can't.
I'm like on a 4 month hiatus, and one day I did it.
It's
On Be
so
Real.
funny because every one of my
Yeah.
B reels is just me sitting in front of a computer.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, is there even a point of me doing this? It's just me sitting in front of a computer for like the nth week in a row.
But that's
Yeah,
the
it's not meant
reality.
for me. I do the same stuff every single time, every single day, every
But
single
it's
time.
real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real, but if it's real, then it's not interesting, right?
I
No
know,
one
but
needs to know I'm on my
yeah.
computer every day. That's some private information.
But I think the reason why Be Real popped up is because people were complaining that Instagram's like a curated like highlight portion of your life, right? So that's obviously going to be the more interesting content and the more. But then like Be Real is like, oh, like this is what you're actually doing. But I think some people find comfort in knowing that their friends, because like what you think you're not doing anything, you're just like sitting at your computer, sitting at your desk. But the reality is, since everyone's working remote, or a lot of people are working remote or hybrid nowadays, and a lot of people who are students or going to classes are also just sitting at their desk all day. I think some people find comfort in seeing that they're not the only ones who feel like they're not doing anything all day.
I see.
And I think that's what the appeal of Be Real is.
Yeah. I'm not knocking. It's not for me, and I feel like you haven't really used it either.
Oh no, I haven't used it, but I understand why like younger generations like it so much. I don't
That's
know
a
if
good
it'll
approach.
take over TikTok or like become the next big thing because I feel like part of the appeal is also that it's like small. I don't know. I don't know because like we seen another app. I don't want to name the exact name, but there was an app you could like make your own chat rooms and it was pretty popular during COVID. And then everyone
TikTok
thought
chat?
TikTok chat. No,
Okay.
something house. But
Oh.
yeah, everyone thought that was gonna pop off, and then it kind of didn't. So
You know,
I
I'm
don't
very
know.
proof that it didn't pop off. I don't think I've ever clicked that link. I've never even
Really,
been to that
you
website
never
once.
got intrigued. I think I got
Nope.
intrigued because it was like an invite only thing, or like you had to be invited by your friend to join, and then I think everyone was just lonely at home. And then I was friends with a lot of creators during that time, so a few of them made their own like weekly shows, kind of like a podcast, but just on that app. So
So, while you guys were talking, when we were talking about Be Real, so I went on Be Real, and I just took a photo of the podcast right now while we're talking about Be Real. So, a little meta here.
Nice. I do agree that I think Be
26
Real
hours
has
late.
more of an appeal for people who want to like engage more together and when
Mhm.
they're lonely and like relatable.
Mhm.
I'm sure some I don't know. I do see that the comment section's kind of bad though because you can't really reply to like specific people. Sometimes
Mhm.
you just gotta comment to comment. You can't like tag.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Like
they're
this.
gonna add features or not though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I also think Be Real isn't a perfect system because from what I've heard about my sister, she talks about like one of her friends. It's really sus because she posts late a lot, and every time she posts, she's out partying or out
Mhm.
somewhere. So you can still rig it so that it doesn't look you look like you're having every day you're like going out and you're like doing the craziest stuff, but it still can be very much curated if
Mhm.
that's how you want to use the platform. But all I have on it is all my close friends, so there's not really a point for most of them.
Same. I just don't see a point because I could also just use Instagram stories and
Yeah, exactly.
arguably there's a
Yeah.
lot it's a better chat system and messaging and replying
Mhm.
UI for that.
But Be Real does have a discovery section where you can see random people do it. So
That's true.
I know
That
there
doesn't
are
appeal to
people.
me though personally.
Yeah, no, that doesn't appeal to me either. But I know there are people that will try to curate their Be Real and try to go off in discovery there. Though I don't
Can you
know
go
how
off on Be Real Discovery?
I
Is
don't
that a
know, but
thing?
there's a discovery section.
I just
I
don't
don't
know
even know
how you
how it
go
works
off.
for like yeah, I have no clue. I'm not a Be Real a beer.
I
Be
mean,
Real
I don't know how
beer.
their algorithm works. I'm more a little bit more familiar with how TikTok operates and how Instagram operates, but for all I know, Be Real's discovery system could just be completely random. So maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like all social media apps they start out with like trying to make people relatable, get everyone like post content. I feel like TikTok started off as that as well. Like everyone was just posting random content, like lip syncing, nothing that took over a minute to record. And then I think as more and more people got onto the app and there's more competition to stand out from other people, it slowly became more curated is now. So I feel like it's just a thing that's like inevitable. If you have an app, eventually once more and more people use it, people who you want to viral or become famous. And I feel like the thing, I don't know, I feel like everything just goes organic content. Some
Is Mace mic being weird to you? Pico?
Yeah, May, you're cutting in and out. I have to use
Yeah.
a lot of my context clues.
Am
to
I
understand what
really?
you're saying.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Like-
It was like
Like,
every other word.
2 words.
Yeah.
I
But it was
turned
enough
it
so that
to-
I can actually understand through
Is
context.
it because I have crisp? It's because like I thought my air purifier was going in, so I turned crisp on.
Yeah, I think it's because
I
you're.
can't even hear your air purifier, to be honest.
It's I have it.
I don't know what Murray's hearing.
I have it louder, so if you turn May's voice louder, Nico, you can probably hear it.
I think you can hear it because like during my morning meetings when I'm at home, my manager's always like, does anyone have like a lawnmower or like a vacuum going on in the background?" And I'm like, oh gosh, I think it's my air purifier.
What is your air purifier on? Why is
I
it
have it on.
Oh lord, what is happening to everyone's voices today? Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? So we're running into some technical issues. Give me a second. Sorry about that. We're running into some technical issues right now. Discord is acting up, so that's how we're hosting a podcast right now.
Hello?
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 Okay, I'm back.
What happened?
Both of your voices went out for me completely.
That's
what the
you.
heck? It's you then. We can hear each other perfectly fine.
No, I know, but like that happened after your little robot beep boop beep thing was done. But yeah,
Maybe it's just Discord.
it is Discord. I restarted it. Sorry. So what were we on?
Let's start a new
Be
topic.
real. Why haven't we done with that conversation?
Yeah, we're pretty much done with that.
Yeah, I have a topic here on the very formal document that says poo poo hee hee, yummy stinky poo poo hee hee. You want to talk about that more, Diku?
I mean, you added on to it.
No, you added it. All I did was see it.
Yeah, sure. But what do you want to talk about?
Not wanting to. Do you know how hard it is to cook for an individual at home? It is. Wait, did we not talk about this last time? Am I having an aneurysm?
I'm trying to figure out.
We talked to. No. I don't think we talked about cooking at home. I don't think.
We probably just talked about it together as friends or at some point.
Yeah, it's confusing because we like have a lot of conversations outside of this too.
Yeah, we've talked about this because we're not supposed to talk to each other at all before the podcast.
How dare you talk to me?
Yeah, how could we? We could talk about tea. I mean, I thought, did we not also talk about tea? What, Diko's Boba Shop?
No,
No?
we did not.
Oh. Oh, let's talk about tea then. Well, you know, like drinkable tea, not actual tea, because without
Any
con-
specific questions?
about the tea. I mean,
Yeah.
what's y'all's favorite tea?
Jasmine.
That was fast. You want to explain why?
It's because I'm from Fuzhou, China, or Fujian, and I think, well, I know, our official flower is a jasmine flower. So a specialty tea that we drink a lot whenever I go back to China is jasmine green tea, which is just green tea, but they mix in some jasmine flowers to give it that fragrance. And it's just very nostalgic to me because it just brings me back to like childhood summers where I would just spend the entire 3 months of summer in China hanging out with my cousins and my grandparents. I just like the taste too.
Wow. I didn't expect like a whole background for it.
She hit us with the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I guess for me, my favorite would be oolong. And funny enough, it's just because of where I'm from. Taiwan has very famous oolong tea, and it's like
Do you have a specific oolong? Because there's so many variations.
there is a lot of variations.
So much jasmine.
Yeah,
Do you like roasted tea?
not
I
really.
Roasted
love
oolong?
roasted tea.
You love it? I think my dad loves it too. I think it's weird. It tastes kind of
Oh my god, your dad and I can be best friends.
I think so too, and it's weird.
The reason I like non-roasted tea more is only because that has more caffeine.
Non-roasted tea has more caffeine.
Yeah, roasted when you roast tea leaves, the caffeine gets.
So
Is
you're
that the
saying
same
you
concept
drink
as
tea
coffee?
for caffeine?
No, that's not true either. But
That's what you're saying.
I like the idea of drinking tea with caffeine.
People do drink tea for caffeine though.
They
like
do.
it's
they
the same
do.
concept as like waking up and drinking coffee. Some
They
people wake up
do, but I feel like
tea.
if you want to say a favorite tea, you don't. You. I feel like
Oh no.
personally, I wouldn't say, oh, because this one has the most caffeine. You know.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless I'm really tired and I actually need caffeine, and there's only a tea shop in front of me, then I'll
Yeah, for sure. Then I'll
yeah,
go to like a go-to, like, hey, what's the one with your highest caffeine? I need it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, because it's my favorite.
No, but I never
So
said that
caffeine.
was my favorite. I just think I prefer non-roasted tea over.
Oh,
that.
right, because you said oolongs. was
Yeah,
your
yeah. I
favorite.
said
Oops.
oolong was my favorite.
My bad, my bad. I was just trying to instigate.
But no, I think you asked what my favorite oolong was, right? And
Yeah,
there's-
yeah.
There's one in Taiwan. I think it's. I keep thinking High Mountain Oolong, and I don't know if that's the right one, but it's like the name of the mountain in Taiwan that grows the oolong.
Is it Alishan?
Yes, Alisan Oolong tea is really good.
Ah.
Thank
Well,
you.
it is a high mountain. High mountain is a very generic. Just it's in a high. It's
It's like an
collected from a high
elevation,
mountain.
right? Like a
Yes.
set elevation, right?
Just a fun fact out there: the reason why a lot of high mountain oolongs are expensive is because it's a lot harder to procure in terms of like growing it itself, and then most of the most expensive teas are actually high mountain as well because it's really rare for them to grow in that environment, and the ones that do grow, they have stronger roots to actually withstand that harsh environment, and so the roots naturally contain like it's a little more sweet, like naturally sweeter, and just like a lot healthier. There's a lot of benefits that it had to adapt to have for us to enjoy, and then most of those are actually even handpicked because you cannot like bring a machine up there. Dangerous.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like the same with coffee too. Coffee also requires a certain elevation. The higher generally the coffee is pricier and it tastes better. It's harder to grow. So I see a lot of similarities. But you never mentioned your favorite.
Mine, I think I personally I really do like high mountain oolongs, but lately I've been really enjoying hojicha, which is a roasted green tea.
Yeah.
Most hojichas are only slightly roasted, but the one I like is like it's super roasted. It's not burnt, but it's like really, really roasted to the point where some people even confuse it for it being like a dark roast oolong. But I don't know. It's just there's just such a strong toasty slash caramel flavor to it when it's super roasted, and I haven't found a single hojicha that's like that, aside from the one I drink right like at the shop or my shop. I've tried a lot of hojichas and nothing comes near that. I don't know what they do, whatever that supplier does. It's amazing. Like a lot of hojichas, you can see the brown color, or like a more like kind of like a lighter brown, like tree bark. I don't know. There's a lot of tree bark colors, so I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's a very dark brown. The one I have.
Interesting. I don't know if I've definitely had hojicha before. I just don't know if I've ever had like high grade.
You had
hojicha.
what before?
Am I pronouncing it wrong? Can you pronounce it for me?
I'm just wondering. Can you say it one more time?
It's hojicha, right?
Sorry.
What did he say? What?
You're putting it. You're putting like a I don't know if this is
Hoi?
racist, but you're putting like a
Hojita?
Chinese accent to it or
Is
something.
it hojicha?
I'm pretty sure hojicha is Japanese, so it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
more
It
like-
is Japanese. It is Japanese.
Yeah, you're like going like hojicha, something like that.
Whoa, that is.
That's
Whoa,
what you're
that's
sounding like when you're
racist.
saying it.
Bro, that's what my voice sounds like.
No, it's not. You can.
I'm
you're
not being
more than
attacked.
capable
I'm
of just
being
saying
attacked.
hojicha.
Hojicha. I don't know what I'm so used to saying like ta is obviously tea, right?
Yeah.
So the Asian way of saying it is like cha.
Asian?
Sorry, the Chinese way of it is saying cha. Right? So, Japanese, I think they pronounce it a little bit differently. Hoji cha. So,
It's like more true to what it's spelled like in English, I guess. Ho chi cha. There's no like accents really.
yeah, we
I
have
think.
different tones in Chinese language. So
Yeah. I'm not even Japanese, but I'm pretty sure Japanese English doesn't really have any tones, right?
I'm not an expert on Japanese, so I can't confirm.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
But yeah. Oh, I'm surprised
like
though.
straightforward.
I think you did tell me that Hojicha was your favorite a while back. I was surprised back then as I am now that I can hear myself, but I'm surprised back then as I am now that your favorite is Hojicha of all things. Because I feel like it is a very earthy and strong flavor. So it's
Yeah.
okay. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. I like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's any other hojicha that's not like this amount of roasted, I would say it's not my favorite. So I'm very. I forgot how to say this word. Partial to this hojicha.
Hmm.
Do you have a specific jasmine that you like, May?
Not really. I just kind of drink whatever my dad gives me.
Hmm. Because there's a lot of different jasmines, just as much as oolongs. There's probably like hundreds and thousands.
Have you guys ever been to like a tea tasting, like ceremony or whatever?
Ceremony.
I don't know about ceremony, but I went to like the ones because like my dad knows a lot of tea people, so it's like usually we go to like a big, like literally like you can see like the fields of like tea leaves, and they
Whoa.
have not office buildings, they have like production buildings, and then they usually have like one room set aside for like when potential clients, usually wholesalers, come in and like want to try the tea. So they'll usually have like a whole tea set. It's like a big thing in Fuzhou to just like sit down and drink tea. So everyone usually has at least like one tea set at home. So they'll have a big fancy tea set. They'll like brew us like a few different teas. So I don't know if that's what you mean by tea ceremony. It's just like it's more like tea people teaching us how to drink tea and making it for us.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's just like different. There's obviously very formal tea ceremonies. Like there's matcha ceremonies in Japan where they use like the highest grade matcha and they have a whole ceremony of like drinking it. But there's also the ones I'm familiar with, which is kind of like there's like not really a ceremony, but there's tea houses in China that I've been to where you just go and it's literally just you ordering tea and then they just bring snacks and you just drink the tea with like these little snacks, not a full meal, just like these nuts or like other kind of.
Tea nuts.
All right, well that's
Oh
the
my
podcast
God.
for today. That's the
Oh
podcast
my
today. Thank you everyone for
You're
tuning
the-
in. We're
I would never have expected that from you.
yeah, out of everyone
You're the
here,
least.
I just let my intrusive thoughts.
you let your intrusive thoughts win today.
Yeah, I was thinking about like
Just really
setup.
I didn't even think of that.
I mean, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I thought about using it earlier when we were talking about nut milks.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's fine. I'll let it pass. I'll
But
let
you
it-
Y'all are
literally said it. I
children.
just repeated what you said.
No, you said
Y'all are
these nuts.
children.
I thought you said they bring over these nuts.
No, that's
Like
not what I.
that.
Oh my god. You know, I'm honestly more disappointed in myself for not thinking about it, and May thought about it before I did.
Really?
Ooh.
You know what we should do in person one time, or like one of these days? It's because like I have like a tea set, like a 10-piece tea set at home. Because you know how like in China they like have a certain order of how you brew your tea and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can take that with me, and we go to like some nice place and have a picnic and just like have a tea
Yo,
party like on.
that'd be so cool,
Picnics.
honestly.
Everyone's gonna give us strange looks, but whatever.
I mean, who cares what they think? But I'm down. I'm also down for Deco to bring his whole bubble tea setup again, and I can drink
Again.
I can drink like 10 bubble teas for free.
You know what I can bring?
That was a
I can
good
bring
time.
my own Alishan oolong tea and my sencha from Midoriyan tea. They're both from Taiwan.
You fucking. I can't.
Is it the
This
one he got
guy.
you?
Yeah, I literally got this guy 2 amazing teas from Taiwan, and then a full year goes by, and he has never used it because he wants a quote unquote proper tea set.
Yeah, I don't want to waste it and like put it in a freaking like industrial can.
Just use it before it expires.
Hey, one of them already expired, but I'm still gonna drink it.
Oh my god. Wait, does that imply that you still haven't drinking it yet?
Yeah,
Oh my god. At this point, I'm
Oh.
about to just get you a tea set.
you should.
Yeah,
Where's my
yeah,
birthday
yeah.
present?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Alright, well, we are reaching past the hour mark. So, I think we can wrap it up for this second podcast. I can hand it over to May for a little outro. But yeah.
Yeah, go May.
Well, thanks for listening to episode 2 of the Lonely United podcast. If you guys want to keep in touch with us, feel free to follow us on social media. We will have that pinned in the Twitch comments below. If someone types it right now, and I can pin it right now.
Wait, what
We
do you
will
want?
be back
What do you want me to
next-
pin?
just any social links.
I don't think we have a. I mean, we each have our own social links, right?
Oh, you can follow Murdy on Twitch at MurdyTY, which is where we host our weekly podcast. We also have our podcast listed on Spotify now, so if you just looked up Lonely United on Spotify, you can find episodes there. You can follow me on Instagram at Mayfacella, and you can follow Deco on.
You don't follow D.
You don't follow Deco.
Okay.
No. What is it? What is it?
Just co.ality. It's a pun on my name, like quality, but it starts with a K-O, and there's a period after the co.
Very nice. And we'll be back next Sunday with more topics to discuss. If you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss, you can just leave that in the comments below or let any one of us know.
Right,
And
because this is gonna
we'll
be on
see you-
YouTube too. So just.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on YouTube. If you see this on YouTube, please follow, like, and subscribe, and comment what you'd like to see in future videos. Any guest stars? ? And thanks for listening to episode 2 of our podcast.
Yep. Thank you
That's it.
guys.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.